Stoneshard. Why do I play this game? I do not know. But I'm going to go on a little quest. So I do know. Actually, yeah, I have 2 water. Turn audio monitoring off. Never. Yeah, so it was a rainy Stoneshard, day. Man. Bedrolls. You can now sleep and save anywhere. But I'm not going to. Too much work. We have pie, some bread, a net. Yeah, I was gonna make a new Stoneshard video, but I've just been kind of demotivated on it, and I got another comment saying I should stream, so I'm going to stream. I think the insane delay while I tried to figure out how you stream a video game didn't help the case much. But, yeah, I actually went through this quest and went all the way through it and was walking back to town. I died. I think it was a difficulty spike due to leveling up. Sounds pretty salty, but I mean, it was like 8 pairs of dogs. I feel like I've never encountered that many dogs. I actually don't know what my max level is. I feel like I must have gotten to 10 with Arna, but it could be false. Set it to low latency. Yeah, I don't think you can do that midstream. It's at normal latency. Yeah. I think normal latency is like 10 to 15 seconds for YouTube. So just calling it high latency, they have normal, low, and ultra low, so that's okay. Should definitely try and trick this out with like a limiter and stuff. But yeah, the other mic, overall the audio quality is better, but I tried using it. It's just like a daily mic and it didn't really seem to work. I feel like I ought to know how to fix it, but at the moment it's on the backlog because I thought I'd buy a preamp or something, and then I realized it's a condenser. Anyways, I realized it's a condenser, so I can't just buy like a cloud lifter or something. And I am running it through a Scarlet. I think the air setting helps, but no. No, it's a 48 volts in the air. So yeah, it's time to shard the stone. I don't know. My inventory's already full and I've hardly done anything. Put there for now. Time's not bad. Need to have all sorts of like gadgets and little, you know, sound effects. Just jump scare noises whenever I get a message right into my headphones. Plus 20 dB. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. See, not only am I getting used to streaming, I'm getting used to Stoneshard again. I'm going to lurk. Yeah, so I ran just about this whole dang route and ended up dying for my trouble. So I'm gonna try and do this quest again. I don't know if I really have like any sort of end goal with this, who am I? Jana. Playthrough. I think the main thing too is that they're adding electromancy and more additions to Bryn, so like this might be kind of curtains for the save. Don't remember if it's compatible or not. Berries. So delicious. No, get back here. Been hoodwinked. That's how magic users hunt. Played like the really old D&D where magic user was just a class. So you're not even a wizard, you're just a user of magic. It's gotta be a real hit to the ego. Oops, Marius. Gooseberry, as we all know, the best kind of berry. Saiga's scared. I can't actually tell where it went. Okay. As painful as it is replaying a level, I guess it's not that bad. What edition was that? I think first or second edition AD&D had magic user, but I'm kind of preoccupied and I'm bad at multitasking, so a quick Google search will get that. But yeah, I just remember it. This is kind of completely unrelated to what I'm doing, but I can go off on a tangent. I remember I used to have friends that played the old school editions of D&D, and yeah, there was one character I rolled up that was like this wizard, and way back in the day, like, you didn't get to choose your spells, you rolled for them, and if you were like a hardcore, you know, like by the rules person, you do it. Just roll like a, oh goodness. I think these are the evil beings I lost to last time. Okay, this is getting bad. Oh. The going gets good. Yeah, as I sprint for my life. But yeah, I remember I rolled up this wizard, and he was just really, like, he had like 3 health, he was really terrible. Masochism. Okay. I love pain now. But all of his spells were like, I think I had magic missile, and the rest of them were like useless utilities. It was like sense magic and spider climb, so all I'd do when we got into a fight was I'd cast magic missile, see if I did damage, and then climb up a wall like a spider and hide while everyone else did something. I don't know if I can cure the masochism state. Yeah. Should I eat pie? Might be the original. And yeah, I only remember like running into that scenario once. Or at least with one character. Yeah, it's I don't think I did anything too differently. Yeah, it's the same equipment I had last time. Wow. I remember last time I went to go do this. I made it through the entire dungeon, got basically jumped by a bunch of dogs and stuff on the way back. Those two Hound Masters or whatever, they almost had me there. Gonna just not to accept surrender. I don't know how to get rid of the masochism state. Maybe it's just... Yeah, it seems to be going away over time. Yeah. Okay. Offensive cantrips are introduced, playing magic user. Okay. Well, I also wasn't super mega familiar with it too. It was one of those situations where I had a couple friend groups that would play like D&D or something. I had like two. And so one group would play like Pathfinder and later like 5th edition and stuff. And then I had one group where they'd play all that, but like they really just thought the whole theming of like... It might have been... I don't know. I mean, I feel like from what you're saying, it must have been 1st edition, and I know they liked that kind of stuff, but I felt like we actually played 2nd. But it's possible that I'm mixing things up, because I talked with a friend. I thought I'd played every version. I think I might have either not played 2nd, or I might have played it like once, so I can't speak on the entire the issue there. There's some stuff about it that's really charming, but then I can also get why it's not like super easy to get into. I think part of the appeal of D&D, at least modern D&D, is watch Critical Role or something, and then it's pretty easy to pick up. So hopefully this goes better. And last time I ran through this, I didn't even use my, like... Is that a stake? A sheath. It's just less gold per slot. Oh. You know, I was just thinking, I think the loot doesn't reroll anymore when you die, which is something I like. I like being able to tackle a challenge again, like if I mess up personally. I can kind of see how that's sort of like cheese, because now I've got meta knowledge. But it does seem to be pretty much the same loot here, so can't be too upset about that. Cool. What did these even do? Mark of the Feast. Okay. It's my favorite. My favorite melee weapon is the two-handed sword, but I'm gonna be honest with you, and keep in mind, like, I have like maybe close to 100 hours in this game. There are people who actually, do I? Let me think. I don't even think I'm at 100. I might be close to 80, so I don't want to lie. But yeah, I just think of all the two-handed weapons, the two-handed sword seems to be kind of like the safest. The two-handed hammers or warhammers or whatever, that was kind of like an interesting playthrough because it's a pretty rough start. But I think spears and like archery in general are pretty good. They did do some sort of nerf like a while back where they made it if you're like too close to a target, you take an aim bonus, and if you're too far away, I believe there's also an aim penalty, which is something they didn't have. I think there was like a max range penalty or something, but you didn't take it from them being close. So if you play archery, like even if you're like, oh, I kind of just want to have a bow, but I'm mainly doing spear, like definitely just take the aim skill first, no matter what you do, because it is infuriating to try and just... Some people do it. But if you're playing with a bow, you can just spam arrows and hope you get lucky, but you're gonna end up missing a lot of shots that's like, I really need this. Yeah, I feel like if they are, I think in the next patch they're making it so there's basically like a critical fail thing for magic. So if that's the case, controller resistance plus 10. That sounds really good. I don't know what I'm talking about though. I feel like if they're nerfing magic next patch without like failure stuff, I feel like archery's gonna be pretty dominant. But I also am not a master of all the cheese strats in this game. I remember someone was talking about all the crazy stuff you could do by intentionally getting cursed items with pretty much beneficial curses because they stack. Yeah, two-handed sword is the one I have the most experience with. Those are really bad. Go on tangents a bit. So here's the thing too, when you're playing games like these, it's like value per slot, and it's like, well, if this is 100, this is 2 slots, like I could just get 2 pairs of Psychohorn and make more money, probably. I think it depends on what merchants you actually can sell to. But still. Alright, I kind of just want to break this door now. Is that all my lockpicks? Well, I like the crossbows, but it's like one of those things where you have to kind of like play around it, whereas a bow is, I think, a bit more adaptable. Also, fun fact, like, people say like, oh, crossbows are bows, but spears and daggers are also thrown at ranged weapons. Thank you, Dad. Alright. If I remember, the boss is up there in the top left, too. Can't knock. It's only 25% of his health. I can't really get a good angle on him. That's not ideal. Most honorable Stoneshard playthrough. Alright, you wait over there. I'll be here casting spells. He's too stunned to react. Oh, jeez. Did I just miss twice? This doesn't affect my chance to hit. What? Alright. These guys are messing me up. I might have to switch builds. Sorry, I'm not doing too well. Yeah, I wanted to check the wiki. Well, the other thing too is that the wiki can be a bit outdated when they cycle in new patches. I might actually have an excuse to use this alcohol, so let's go with that. So it's sometimes hard to get a real clear answer, but I was wondering the same thing. I just know that like daggers and spears have like a hidden stat for or a hidden buff to like their chance to hit when you throw them and stuff, or damage. I don't remember. So they're made for that, but there isn't exactly like a javelin pouch or something like that. I wonder if that's in the docket. But I'm really excited for Electromancy. I'm kind I don't know. I guess I can't just say, oh, I'm done with magic because of this playthrough, but wait, if it gets harder after this... Okay. I wonder if I can just aggro that guy. That looks like a no. That was a crit. Counterplay is don't be seen. Can't even cast anything. Go back. Go back and explode on him, please. No. Yes. 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 I did it. I finally did it. There should be an achievement for that. That's awesome. I mean, I guess with the Geomancy, it's kind of the easiest way to do it. Should probably pick that up for now. Oh, what's this at? Probably like 1? 5 out of 12. I know the latency is pretty bad, so... Don't know if I'll get a reaction for that, but it warms my heart. Let's eat this. Just throw it. Should have thrown it at this guy. Oh, goodness. This is the oldest trick in the book. This is the meta of Stoneshard. I hate when you pick something up and do that. I can't rest. 23%. Like, I could probably walk over and hit him. He has a... He's dazed. He has like a fractured ankle. He's confused. What's happening? Where am I? I wonder... This is becoming mean. This is like bullying. I shouldn't... Okay, I need to... Is there any kind of stealth mechanic? For a while, stealth, like, there were values for stealth, but it wasn't fully implemented. I don't know what the current status of it is, though. It's probably kind of not very helpful. I believe they're working on implementing the stealth mechanic, but the current stealth mechanic is there's like a noise produced stat. Which I usually don't focus on. Noise produced, like, you'll get it from cloaks. And, I think certain shoes, too. Actually, could probably get a better belt than that. Okay, I'm draining my own energy, so let me just break those. And also, I might add, for me, like, the stealth in this game is just, like, making an enemy, you know, make eye contact with you, and then they'll just run you down. It's funny, too, because I did this just for, like, basically XP. I didn't really do it for, like, money or anything, so for me to... Oh my goodness. It's not worth it. Alright, always bring 2 sets of picks. That's what we've learned today. My bed's my dagger. Yeah, it's not that bad. So... There's another side of this dungeon I need to go to. Not need. I don't think the loot rerolled, though. If I remember correctly, it doesn't have anything I need. The problem is that I'm running out of Geomancy spells to learn. If I get jumped by like stupid hunters again. So that's how this build is supposed to work. It's supposed to basically just not take a single hit. Earlier was not working in my favor. Ah! No, a pillar. Betrayed me. Yeah, I lost 1 durability just for throwing it. Let's do it again. Miss. Finally contend with bears. Yeah, I killed 1 bear with my longsword build as Arnott. And the thing is, I died the first time and had to basically, not save scum, but I just, you know, re-rolled, went to the same spot, killed it. So, like, I don't know. See, I feel like the thing is that I see so much negativity for this game. I really don't ever feel like saying anything negative because I feel like it's all out there. But I do feel like this game has a really weird kind of progression where, like, you know, oh no. Did nothing happen? Maybe I didn't set it all. And here's the lockpick set. After I broke the chest and, like, ruined whatever is inside of it. Okay, so I don't remember. I just remember there was a tool set there. Yeah, this looks about right. I think I might have missed the lockpick set last time. So let's read it just in case. I'd already read that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this game is this sort of weird thing where, like, I don't know really the best way to put it, but it's just like the way you overcome goals is by going down a single skill tree. Or not overcome obstacles, but like the way you really, you know, power level kind of is to go down a single skill tree, go down a single stat. Although I've had kind of success going into different stats and kind of doing the same build. Like two-handed longsword, you can totally do like vitality or like strength. You can mix in some agility. It's not really super linear like that. Oh, tattered gloves. But I did get some more special medicine for my brain. Do you ever carry a crowbar? Yeah. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that either. He's focusing the pillar. The fool. He's halfway. Okay. The crowbars aren't half bad. I just, there's something weird with them. I'm trying to remember. I mean, they take up more space, but there's something else. This will probably spoil by the time I get back to town, so I'm carrying. And I think that's that for this area. We still got one chest. 200 gold's not bad for reimbursement, and the two toolkits are actually kind of a good find, I guess. But like, I'm not doing anything. Like this is basically just like, oh, let me go out and play the video game. There's no like stated goal. Like, I was going for the whole Bryn quest line, but it just feels weird to start doing it now because it seems a bit difficult, and they're about to update the game and change stuff. So last time I got jumped around there. Step. So hopefully we won't have a repeat of that, but I can tell you it. The stone armor, it gives you physical resistance, magic resistance, bleed resistance, move resistance, control resistance. But the best thing is that, well, 1 crushing damage for each attack it absorbed isn't great, but yeah, it does explode and do some damage, so you can actually kill people by getting hit. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's all there in the tin, but if you end up, like, especially with this, I think it's interesting because I was trying to kind of raise my dodge a bit so I'd get fumbles and stuff. But if you've got a bit of dodge and you have the stone armor, it is kind of interesting because you're sort of like a dodge and tank. Sorry, I have berries to eat. That guy hit! Wait, did I damage him? How'd I damage him? Why'd he get damaged when he shot me? Do I have like a passive? What? Alright, I guess it's fine. Oh! Masochism gives you damage reflection. I did not know that. I don't think I've ever had this effect, so I don't know how I would, but... If I had an ambush like this and they absolutely destroyed me. Is the bin questline ready? No, they're continuing it, but I think they're getting closer. I mean, when people talk about it being unfinished, I think part of the thing too is that, like, we're supposed to be getting close to where they have the caravan system, and I haven't looked into what they talked about the caravan system actually being, but if it is something that allows for fast travel to, like, the quests and stuff like that, it's just one of those things where, like, I just don't really see the point of doing the entire Burn questline now and then potentially doing it later. And some people want character creation, so you got those, you know, people in the mix. You're not to get away that easy, you fool. Is that really not enough? Okay, there we go. Big shove. You know, can I say something else? Like, honestly, it's just like, I've played stuff like, I mean, I tried Misery, I didn't really end up playing it, but I played like Stalker Anomaly and stuff, and this game isn't much like that, but the economics of games like these are always the same, and it's very fun. It's a good, like, grind and stuff. But, like, there's just no point for me to drop some of my loot or whatever and pick up a war scythe when this is worth 500, and that's probably worth, like, 20, and it's twice the size. And it's like, oh, well, a war scythe isn't probably worth that much. But you'll find, like, a lot of items, I mean, they'll kind of be worth a lot, but they're really not worth the trek back, especially with the amount of money you make for, like, doing quests and the like. I wouldn't call it, like, a pet peeve, because I don't think it's really a problem with the game. It's just weird. The economy of this game is really weird when you're making more from, like, bolts of cloth than, like, great swords. I do wonder if they'll ever go for, like, a charisma trait. I think they're pretty satisfied with the 5 they have. Or maybe, like, you could get a bit of a sell price buff with perception, but I think perception's actually a pretty good trait by itself. But yeah, I feel like this game really has hills and valleys with, like, difficulty and stuff too. Like, I feel like when they rework the skill systems, there's bonuses every 5 points, stuff like that. I feel like the game got a little bit easier, and then you could also save and exit, so it was just such a massive shift in the game. For me, where I was like, oh, this game's way too hard. And they did that, and I was like, okay, it's pretty manageable now. And people say it's way too hard, and I'm like, well, it used to be a little harder to get into. I wouldn't call it easy. I mean, at least if you get stuck, you can just kind of pause. There's no obligation to rush through things. I'm gonna kill one of them. I didn't mean to do that. It's a mistake. I can't see around my own thing. How did I do that? Another really strange thing about this game is I believe killing them with magic, or at least with Geomancy, is like, I think you get hides like all the time. Time to chow down. Like, another change was yeah. I haven't tried. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in a way, it kind of makes sense, because it's supposed to be like some sort of really war-torn, horrible situation. It's like, well, there's more weapons than there are healing items, and like stuff like that. But it's just weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not my greatest gamer moment, but I downloaded Misery and I tried it, and I don't remember what version of the specifics, but I was in like Restock, and there's just... Is this Misery or Anomaly? There's a mission where you have to hunt a Chimera with an NPC, and he has to survive, but like, at least when I was playing it, he was just getting one shot. This is absolutely impossible, so I was running out with like a leather jacket, and I was trying to tank shots from a Chimera in like a Misery mod. It was the most frustrating thing ever, and I did it through like save scumming, but I wasn't having any fun. Anomaly is something I'd like to play on stream, but honestly, I feel like watching me play Anomaly would be very boring. Especially because Mercenary is my favorite faction. See, this is pretty much what happened to me last time, but I was like, oh, it's just some bandits, so I didn't take it really seriously. I'm gonna play a bit more like an absolute coward. It's like kind of a good motto for this game, unfortunately. So, from what we read in that description, every boulder I cast should get me... Oh, jeez. Okay, I want to finish this guy. He's only at 4. Okay, kind of took a gamble there. So let's try and finish this guy off. Now, if I could knock him away from me right now, I think that'd be kind of good. Yeah, just give me a turn. And so I leveled up, just like here. And you get this trait called Megalomania. So what Megalomania does is it messes with all your stats, and they look way higher than they should be, like you're over the cap. And it's really troll because my agility was 12. I think, yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. I didn't think it would actually happen again, but so anyways, the question here. So I have a couple dagger skills I can get. Quick hands. So that's -5 the fumble chance, cooldown reduction for dagger skills, +5%. See, I got this one last time, I believe. The first attack against enemy applies them with +25% damage for 5 turns. Thrown daggers deal more damage, so I like that one. For Geomancy, I think I only have 1 rune left. Boulders receive less damage, +2% Geomancy power. I honestly think I should not do that. Athletics, I'm fine. Honestly, this one doesn't seem too bad either. But yeah, I really, actually, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to go and buy tier 3 Geomancy book, if I can, from Stoneshard, and I don't know how much it is, but I think I have about 4 grand. So this is what happens. You think you're safe and you're not. For now, I'm just gonna get that dagger skill I talked about. And also Masochism went away, so I lost Masochism, I got Megalomania. But I think Megalomania triggers from killing weaker enemies over and over again, which I'm not intentionally doing, they're just on this road. I mean, I could avoid them, but I want the XP. Am I playing the game? Or is the game playing me? So, my cheese is going bad, let's eat some of that. A bit of water. And run away. I just like that I don't even check their inventories. Like, I know these Saiga horns are probably worth more. But yeah, what happened? These I can probably take. The goons. I had like a bunch of like the dog trainer enemies come up and just destroy me. Yeah. If that happens, I'm probably gonna. If I see him, I might actually take my magic meds. Yeah, I always take that with bows. Like in my Derwin playthrough, that's what I did. And it's super... See, that's one thing where that's really good for crossbows, I suppose, but like I really wanted to play crossbows and spears because I thought that'd be a really fun playthrough. But you get that dagger skill and it's so handy to not have to take a turn switching, so if someone runs up on you or what, you know, you just whip a dagger out. Pretty much fix the situation. The delay is really bad. Okay, these are just more Saiga, so I think I missed the ambush this time. Or that was it. But I can't remember my skill points well enough to know where I should place them. Oh, and another thing, I think Megalomania is also hitting consecutive attacks. So like if you start missing or something, I think that can get rid of it. So maybe I should have tried to like, I don't know if you can intentionally whiff. Might be messing with it because I'm playing magic too. I'm usually hitting dazed enemies, I'm not just hitting normal enemies with the dagger. Okay. Oops, berries. There's a goobs. I don't... Yeah, I'll have to see. Gives me a ton of money, I won't even be able to carry it. Let's see what we're looking at. That's not good. Yeah, I mean, So, like, I keep harping on about Stalker and stuff, but it's just one of those things where, like, if you go in the game and just try and dominate every encounter without actually doing something that would warrant that, then yeah, you'll get pretty messed up. I guess maybe that's a bit harsh, but, like, I feel like it's just one of those things where I played the game a couple times and I was like, oh, okay, I have to be really careful in this game, and then I stopped having problems in general. I mentioned this in one of my videos, but my biggest problem at one point actually was that I was in college and I was like, okay, well, I need to leave at certain times for, like, I had a weird job and stuff. So, like, I couldn't play the game because I had to do stuff. And yeah, I do think it's funny when people describe it as hard. It's like one of those things too where it completely depends on your build. Like, I think the difficulty is a lot less in some ways if you play like a super cheese like Derwin archery build. You can just run around, throw traps down, not have anything. Okay, so that did get rid of Megalomania. So my willpower is at 15. Vitality affects your energy, which is why I was getting it, but the threshold doesn't do anything to do with energy. Yeah. Perception gives you crit chance 5. So yeah, I was probably gonna start going for agility just to try and get that dodge, because my current dodge is nothing. I also need to look up what you do for immunity. I've just been eating garlic. My fumble chance is 2%. Yeah. 81% accuracy. That's not too shabby. Oh, what's my dodge? 36%. But for a dodge to go through, they must fumble, if that makes sense. Unless it's... oh, okay. Unless it's a ranged attack. So... yeah. So I'm gonna go for agility right now, because I want my daggers to be a little more effective. I could also try and do dual wielding daggers, that'd be really cool, but I usually don't dual wield actually. I'll do two-handed but not dual wielding for whatever reason. Oh, I gotta check the chest. I don't think my reputation's too great, Bryn. There's a J. Benevolence. Actually benevolent everywhere. Yeah, I might do another Osbrook contract just to get them up. And like, I haven't killed the troll yet, which might be bad to say, but I will admit to it, I will not lie. I haven't seen the super extremes of it. I know they have like artifacts and stuff now, or relics. I want to find one of those. For this. Can you give me a ride? To Manshire. To Manshire we go. Okay, first things first. Let's see if he has Geomantic 3. Please be 3. Oh dear. Yeah, that's awful. Stabs. Let me check if I have athletic. Right, so one of these repair sets. Hello there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just not super interested in any of this. I feel like it's almost harder to play a character that uses non-blacksmith goods, because there's the tailor. I think you can buy some of the like leather and goods for other people, but there's pretty much just the tailor and Osbrook for whatever reason. This guy doesn't sell medicine. Give me medicine. Nothing here I really need. Yeah, I think it's worth doing. I have a video on it. I'm having trouble getting YouTube to show it, so I started shoving it in my videos because, like, I have a Stoneshard playlist and it doesn't go in order, but that was my second, like, kind of tutorial video, is how to do that. It wasn't how to do it, it was just to explain exists, but... And it's not really even the greatest thing ever. I don't know, this is spoilers, I guess, so just heads up for you, but... Yeah, I mean, ultimately what it boils down to is your reputation. I think you just passed me. Your reputation will take a hit, but oh. Can I sleep here? Come back in the morning. Yeah, you unlock a location. I don't really think the alternative is even worth it, really. Can I just walk all over here? Who is this? That's pretty awkward. What's weird is the only person you can talk to is this person. I forgot about that. Let's go out. Whatever. I'm really quite soaked. Into the house I go. Hunting grounds. Okay. Wait, can I not buy anything from them? That's nice. Okay. How engaging. Follow the cursor. Rotten cheese on the ground. Classic. Come on, come here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to sell these books to that guy. Whatever, I'll sell them here. I'm not that concerned. Sold the wrong book. Yikes. Okay, Taylor. Let's see what we've got here. townsman garment. Why is this more expensive than the leather vest if it's just worse? Don't understand. Wanderer's mantle. Way out here. This gives me 5 protection. I'm wondering if I should just try this out. The merchant and Manshire buys them for like a higher price, I guess, but it still doesn't seem to be that good. And then there's like a few pawn shops in Bryn. I don't know if any one of them gives you a good price. I kind of want to buy this magic over here. Also, I want a better belt, but these all look terrible. Could use this rope. I kind of want to try this out. Oh. It's free real estate. In terms of headgear, I don't really think there's much better. There's no dodge chance in this, though. It was +7, so I don't know. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, they're supposed to be roughly equivalent. Secret stash. Okay. One moment. Whew. Is everything running okay? Oh no. I'm just gonna continue to operate as if the stream is still going. I believe it is. YouTube just shot me a little error. Just to scare me. Keep me in top form. I don't know. I'm gonna go with this funny guy. Oda. What say you? Oh, I forgot to put the doublet away. It's like the one thing I went into the tavern to do. Also, I put bones in his room. He loves bones. I have to head to the Brown Mound. No. Look, the clouds are breaking up. As we head for the Brown Mound, a sense of dread fills Joan. I do wonder if this is going to just keep giving me that ego statistical perk, whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't. I'm just gonna identify this. It's an unidentified potion of ignition. It ignites you. Great. I don't think I've ever once gotten a good potion in this game, so I don't think I've ever drank one either. You can sell that. Okay. Then this goes here, that goes there. Honestly, at this point, why not? Yes, I had all the control resistance. Okay, we good? We're good. Okay. Let's roll out. It's so weird too, when you're playing like an archer or something, maybe a guy with a spear, you're always going to the carpenter. I don't think I've seen him once. Yes, let's go to the brewery, see if enough time has passed. It's weird too, because in real life it's been a while since I played this save, but I don't think it's been that much game time. But let's see what's the deal. At some point they need to set like, I don't know, like a 2-day limit or something on items, so they're not just there for years. I left a splint here. I'm just using him as a chest at this point. So yeah, let's buy some beer. Sir? Sir? I can't do much of this. And he sells smoked ham, bread, all sorts of treats. On the cheap. That is why we like Uncle Odar. Or Uncle Odar. Oh, Uncle Crom. Real cheap. Let's go make some money. Crom just fills me with that entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll just... You know what, Manshire might be... Everything might be closed. They made it a little harder to fast travel around like this and get all your chores done. Alright, gotta rent a room now. Sweet. It's also like, I don't remember how many times I've walked between these locations. I don't know if it really would take that long with a horse and carriage. I think I can get from Osbrook to Manshire before nighttime if I actually walk in the game, so why would a horse, a carriage, not be able to? Oh, it's been a while since I've even tried that, so I don't know. So yeah, it's profit. She's no money. She's poor. It's sad. This has happened to me before. Like if I pay her, it's just... Head to the brown man. Oh yeah, I forgot I left rotten meat on my bed here. It's very classy. I don't know why I did that. At least it has fast travel. I played games where they're just like, this game is no fast travel, and it's like, I just like this way, at least it's an option. And I can't help but complain. Okay, so this guy has more money all the time for some reason. I don't know, I guess he's like the actual owner, but they have 2 separate inventories, the more you know. That should be fine. Yeah, like it's, the thing is I can get beer off of Crom for way cheaper, so there's no point buying stuff from this guy. I'm just here to take his money, basically. And as I start getting reputation with the other villages, it's even better. So that is why we're doing that dinky little quest for them. So yeah, this guy, Geralot, he says, how about a discount? And he's like, fine, I can pay you more for certain items. Books, for example, if you find one, bring it here. I won't give you much for it, but no one here will pay more for stuff like that. And then he says that he has people in Bryn that pay him for books. So I don't know if that's a hint that there's people that pay more in Bryn. I don't know. Or what? Or what? I don't know how to say that. These are cool. mean, he's giving us more, but I made like maybe 200 gold off all those books. Not really a lot. Oh. I mean, if he sells them, I guess. But I need other water. Maybe she'll sell them. These merchants, like, this is gonna sound pretty bad, but I don't even know why they exist. It's not worth the money. Sure, roasted tough meat. I think it is she sells garlic, which gives you immunity. I don't really know how immunity works. For the price, you can't even beat it. Yeah. I mean, my only point of view with the whole Bren thing is that they stated in the update when they were adding Bren that, you know, it wasn't complete, they were going to be adding things over time. So people were writing like, oh, this is a ghost town, it's completely empty. And then they'd already added stores by like, maybe a couple days later. So by the time people were complaining, they'd pretty much already addressed the issue. Not completely, it was still pretty empty. But, so that's why, like, yeah, I don't know. I would like to see it complete, so I'm just kind of holding my tongue until then. I like the elves and all of the little touches there. Oh, I'm not hungry at all. I'm not going to be able to eat my veggies for a while. My delicious veggies. Take the horsey back to Osbrook. Probably get a quick sleep for a save, and then this should be a cakewalk, but we'll see. I found a pretty good dagger considering I was going for a dagger run. It's just the fact that it's like, okay, will 2 benefit me? Will make things worse. There's also another thing about this game I must say too is that I don't really feel like experimenting with my build when there's no way to refund the points back. Unless there is. There could be at the, you know, one of the hidden locations or something. I wouldn't know. Okay, so I got my second pouch. What's my hunger? 3%. I can have like 3 of these. Apparently not. It's just like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I talked about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I have very, I guess, conflicting views on things where I'm just like sort of back and forth, but. The Stoneshard is one of those games where, like, I feel like it's for not a specific group of people, but it's definitely not for everyone, but I think what it does very well, and, like, interestingly, I will say that there is a certain point in Stoneshard where you just need to go like, okay, I guess I'll try another build. Because it's basically a sandbox right now, but the future game is supposed to be. I have rotten cheese in my inventory. Also, like, all these points of interest, it's just another thing where it's like, oh, I could go all the way out here and find a campsite. Like, I remember they extended the map, that was the biggest thing. Because it used to be, like, maybe, like, this area, well, where's, hold on, that's Manshire? Maybe it was like this, but I really think Manshire was more like up here or something. They made it the size it is now. Oh! Wait, hold on. Oh, for a second I thought Oak and Barrel had its own reputation tab now, but it doesn't. So I'm a little mad. But if you look here, the House of the Azura Thread, which is, I believe, what those elves own, has a tab. Like, it has its own reputation. I want to find the Rotten Willow Inn, or Tavern. That's, like, one of my biggest goals for this version or whatever. I'm really interested to see the other factions. I think Bryn is really flavorful. Like, I want to see what the Council and the Grey Army are supposed to be like. Alright, enough chit-chat. Burial Mound. Going to Mound Town. But yeah, Osbrook is kind of homey to me. Like, honestly, I feel like at one point I'm going to feel nostalgia for Osbrook just because this game, it's always been just kind of fun to flip on and give yourself a little bit of a brain teaser. That's how I treat the combat. I can eat. I'm trying to get my immunity up. I guess you just have to eat garlic and stuff. It's whatever. I'm just thinking, if that stupid athletics book was like 1200, then I guess that's what Geomantic 2 would be. Or no, Geomantic 3 would probably be like 2 grand. So I guess I'm better off just grinding and trying to find it. Which is funny, because I always said, like, I never really had a problem finding the type of books. I never had a problem trying to find the books I need in this game. But on this particular playthrough, I have. Had a terrible luck with that. It's like you're not buying a skill point, you're buying a book to be able to use your skill points. Okay, piggy. I've been to a couple of them. Like, I went to an encounter. I went to like an encounter that was completely scripted, which was interesting. Like finding out that kind of stuff in the game, so it's not a complete waste of time. It's just when it's a campsite, so you can sleep and save out in the woods. It's like, well, is it on the way to anything? There's one here. There's one here. Like, I don't need that. I need one like here. There's an impregnable fort here. There's a campsite here, but that's. I mean, it's just they're not convenient. They would have to be in between the destination. There is a witch's hut encounter. I've most certainly been to this location before. I accidentally gathered a raspberry. I usually put a shovel in my second inventory too, and I haven't been doing that. I really should. There's an achievement for like robbing a certain number of graves, and I don't know how I haven't hit it. I guess you have to do a lot. No, you have to dig up a certain amount of graves to get the achievement. That's what I'm waiting. Okay. Those wolves really wanted Spear Priestess 1. It was a gamble. Bye-bye. I need Spear Priestess 1! You ever seen bison? Yeah, I passed a bunch on this very stream. I don't know if you're on then, but yeah, they were like out here, I think? I avoid bison, they're tough as nails, you really need to cheese them. Also, this guy's bleeding like a pig while fighting a pig. I was gonna say that the pig's gonna be harder to take than the guy, so I'm just gonna... Might be able to get his fur. Make a paintbrush out of it. Paint my Warhammer figurines. How am I... Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go. It survived that? Finally. Those pigs, man. Okay, I damaged the pelt. Actually, you know what? Given my luck, I think the bandit might have damaged the pelt. I don't know if that was actually me. Anyways. Okay, we're good. Oh wow, there's sticks everywhere. Spear's Priestess 1. Throwing that might be helpful. Yeah, the spear, honestly, spear might be my next one. I wanted to do staff because I kind of wanted to do like try and see how close I could get to like a monk build. Spears, I always wanted to do a spear and crossbow build because I always, I feel like there's a very Italian sort of pike and shot aesthetic in Rin. I just like that era. Ever since I saw Tule and Warhammer, I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, they beat me too. That's why I was like, all right, I'll damage the boar. I can't believe it took that much damage though. Of course, yeah. If you visit these at night, I'll end up getting Okay, so those pits actually count as an obstacle, I guess. I mean, with boars, yeah, I've always just kind of kited them. That's been my solution. Okay, so the thing here is I don't want him to reach his bud, so even though it's probably going to damage me, I'm going to stand in the way. And I was rushing and I whiffed that. Awkward. I'm just going to have to sit here and try to take it. That just damaged me. As you can see, I'm a tactical genius. I just broke my own like elbow doing that. Yeah, my head's all messed up. I play Total War Warhammer, but it's kind of a long story, but I used to make a lot of videos for it. Some of them are leak videos, but I've never owned Warhammer miniatures. I've owned Blood Bowl miniatures, but well, I don't own them, but I play Chaos Stores in Blood Bowl, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Does that count? If you're talking about fantasy, I pretty much like every army in the game. I'm not the biggest like Beastman person. And if you want to count Total War Warhammer 2, I don't really like playing Vampire Coast, but I like just about every other army. Not the biggest like Chaos person, but it's not even that I don't like Chaos, it's just that I like, you know, like maybe Tzeentch, Khorne, and then the rest I don't care too much about. 40k, I think my favorite units in that entire... No, not in the entire setting, but one of my favorite units is the, what are they called? The Tzeentch Librarians? What are they called? It always gets me. It's like they have a name that sounds like some, like, math problem. That's gonna bother me now. It's a ghost. Killed it. Okay. Yeah, good thing those things are really... PC game I really like Lizardmen. You know, so what happened with the PC game is I came in, I like certain factions. Like, let's say, like, I like Empire, right? That was a faction I liked. And the more I played the different ones, I think they did a really good job of making me like each faction. So, for example, I never liked Dark Elves. I did a Dark Elf campaign, and it really endeared me to them. So, like, it's kind of funny. It's cheesy to say, but I like most factions in that game. Lizardmen, one of the coolest units they have are the Stalker Skinks. Which... see, here's the thing. I never, like, leaked anything. Like, I dug it out, but, I reported on the leak of those. I don't know. My main thing was that, like, a lot of times people would have leaks and they just wouldn't be up on YouTube for a myriad of reasons, and I'd make videos about it. And I kind of fell off, to be honest with you. I remember... Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to talk about in, like, a... like, secondhand, like, in my old life. There haven't been too many leaks for Warhammer 3, and all the ones they had are just not that interesting to me. I wonder if I throw this at someone, if they'll light them on fire. So, like, I'd be down to do, like, a Warhammer Total War stream or something. I don't even know if I played 2 or 3, though. I'm basically just waiting for Immortal Empires. Also, another thing to what you said earlier when we were talking about range stuff, the one kind of pitfall of ranged playthroughs is fighting skeletons. And I think spears might help with that, but the thing is that you're not going to bleed a skeleton, so that's kind of the main issue. Sorry, Mr. Rat. Okay, I'm not gonna... Alright, my immunity's at 43. I guess there's immunity training in this game. I ate all my veggies, I think. At least I got a bit of loot. Good news is I can loot these without remorse, because now they're just looking at me. I was typing in my game, sorry. Fair point. I don't know if I actually saw what you said. I might have been negligent there. If I can go back off on a tangent, for a while I wanted to make a video on why I think Talea is going to come to Total War Warhammer. And it was like this big thing where I was like, oh, I've cracked the code. But the thing is that ultimately I could never get it concrete enough where I could really make it like Talea is coming. It'd basically be why I think they're coming. And the other issue I had is I couldn't explain if they would just be like a mercenary, like basically a game mechanic where you could hire mercenaries or a playable faction. But I will say that there are assets in the game, basically from the first game, that are like, Talea was the only faction that had them. The only other faction that had some of the stuff Talea had that made them unique was Kislev. And then Kislev got confirmed from Game 3 and they gave them voice acting, but before that, Talea and Kislev were almost exactly in the same boat. It's like scary. And I think Talea / Dogs of War is one of the coolest factions in Warhammer and one of the most underrated. I'm going on a huge tangent here, so if this is just boring because it's not related to Stoneshard, you know, but yeah, it's just in the tabletop there's a bunch of stuff that happened. It was just like a transitionary period for Warhammer. They were in 5th and 6th edition, but they're very expensive. They weren't super useful in the meta of the time. They had their fan base, but so they're just for a myriad of reasons. It was really unlucky, but I think all of the reasons that they didn't work out on like tabletop Warhammer are like reasons they do really well in Total War Warhammer. Because like one of the things is that in tabletop Warhammer, named characters aren't that good, or like special characters, but in the video game they'd have an absolute field day with that just because of the amount of legendary lords and such they could have. So that's the only reason I even got so invested in the topic, because a few people have made videos of similar things. I'm not like the first to say it, but I was just like looking at the game's files and some other stuff. There's no real like yeah, like I said, ultimately there's no real like, oh, they're definitely coming. Talea is like Warhammer Italy, but Dogs of War are basically like, yeah, they're like pikemen, crossbowmen, but it's all sorts of stuff. Like they had rules for mercenary dwarves, they had rules for mercenary ogres, they had rules for these flying men with like Da Vinci wingsuits and crossbows. They do have rules for Warhammer Leonardo da Vinci, as a matter of fact. Leonardo de Maragliano. And, you know, just a ton of cool stuff, but they were sort of short-lived. They got pretty much axed in 7th edition, I think. Like, really, Dogs of War are just all the mercenaries. But, like, here's the thing, here's the biggest takeaway. They had a full army book. Like, Cathay and Kislev never had a full army book to the point that Talea and the Dogs of War did, where it was like an actual, like, official faction of the game. It wasn't like a theme list or anything like that. That's all I'm getting at, really. Another thing too, if you're not super huge into Warhammer, I used to spread this because it's misinformation, but Nippon, Cathay didn't, but Nippon, which is like Warhammer Japan, did have rules. It was for like 1st through 3rd edition. They were like kind of one of the main factions, and then they stopped continuing it. There's a bunch of stuff that came up. They were gonna do this whole fantasy supplement there, but another RPG game named Bushido came out, so that kind of got canned. So Nippon was originally supposed to be in 4th edition. Yeah, in the games files, so a lot of the stuff from Warhammer, Total War Warhammer 1 is carried over into Warhammer 2. And so Talea has like some commander portraits and other stuff that like a playable faction would have. At least, you know, I guess in my opinion, but really it's just, yeah, it's Talea is the only faction like that, like the only sub-faction. The only other one was Kislev, and Kislev is playable now. So like here's the thing, like Estalia doesn't have it, which is Warhammer Spain. Border Princes don't have it, which is like another similar faction, like they're in the same subgroup. But Talea is the only one that has traits as if it was a real playable faction. That's the TLDR I can give you. I want to make a whole video on it, but whenever I say that, it's just, it takes longer than just thinking it and spitting it out into a camera. Even if I don't really feel like the end result is super crazy. Okay, I need to kill this evil demon. Okay. Those things can like, not one-shot you, those can absolutely clobber you at low levels. But if you're a magic user, I think the magic is like true damage to them. So I'm gonna say Talea or Dogs of War, which is what their army book was, will come to Warhammer 3. But as I said, it could just be a game mechanic. Like they basically have the mercenary mechanics in Total War Warhammer 3 now, so it's less necessary. It's like the biggest thing about Warhammer 2 is you couldn't cross between factions. Like you couldn't have, except for really exceptional cases, you couldn't have like high elves in an Empire army or something like that, which is not possible. And probably one of the best things about Total War Warhammer 3 is just the game itself is kind of more boring. Everyone's just waiting for the Mortal Empires. So I could rant about that for a while. I just was like, it's not even like really that positive anymore. So that's why I kind of stopped talking about Total War Warhammer. Is this gonna hurt me? Yeah, it does. Last stand. Haha, I stab you, haha. I hope that rings. Got a good enchantment. And some brandy. And I think we are out of here. I checked the main sarcophagi. Also, even when you're like a higher level character, depending on what you have, you can just instantly die to like poison gas. I've had that happen in dungeons. You just say, oops, and you die. I'm not really big into like breaking the scenery and stuff like that. Sometimes I like carrying around bones, though. I'm a little quirky like that. Oh, what time is it? Okay, it's getting kind of late my time, but I did just kind of pick a random time to stream because yeah, I thought it'd be fun, make me feel a bit better. Things have been a bit crazy lately. And I need practice if I want to do this. So, I appreciate... Oh, another thing, I have a friend who streams, and they're always, when they pop in, they always get on me for not saying people's names. I appreciate the subscription, and I appreciate the feedback. Dan Riley. How can I make that as awkward as possible to say? I think I just achieved it. Yeah, I appreciate being able to just talk about stuff. I can talk forever. I think it's just kind of orienting it on something relevant. I say as I fall silent. There's a demon, I tell you. I cannot focus. So yeah, with like Geomancy, what's really fun is you end up having these kind of, okay, well I can bounce him this way, and maybe I can hit other enemies and get a combo, and what am I gonna do in a few turns? Like, that's all cool. But just having your energy drained by these pillars is not extremely fun. Yeah, well, you say this time. I've only streamed like twice. I might start doing it from Fridays. That would probably be the easiest day for me aside from like weekends, which are kind of weird for me. Well, I'm not. I'm probably gonna get back to Osbrook and finish things up, because in this game you can't. Well, I can save and exit, but that's not fun. Oh my goodness! What? I wasn't trying to move there. Okay, they're more interested in that. That was really weird. I didn't mean to walk into that wolf. I kind of autopathed, which is not something you should do because you can run into a bear. I do find it funny, like you were saying, you were like, yeah, I managed to like kill a bear, and then you're saying, oh yeah, boars really messed me up, which is like a thing in this game. I've noticed that too. Like boars sometimes can just be so swingy. And some of the enemies, like wolves too, all the animals are very swingy. Sometimes they won't do very well when they fight you, and other times. And I have a theory as to why. I don't know if this is the actual reason, but I believe it's because they don't have armor and stuff like that, or just their stats are different. You can like break their limbs, and then they're just completely crippled. I think that's why. So like, whenever you're doing well against them, you probably crippled something. There's a hedgehog. Yeah, buffalo are really, really tanky. I think the only way I've killed them is like complete cheese with a bow. And there's a quest to get a buffalo horn. More wolves. I have gotten mugged by wolves before and lost a quest. But yeah, Warhammer is really weird because people have these perceptions of things, and it's really odd where it's like, oh well, Ind, which is like India, is like just like the same as Nippon. They were never in the game. It's like, no, Nippon was in the game. It was just so long ago that Warhammer Fantasy wasn't Warhammer Fantasy. Like, they used to have weird rules for like leveling up characters, and it was like more like a normal RPG in first, second, and I think third edition Warhammer. And it just simply was not the same game. Like they had Chaos Goblins, they had gnomes. Which I was going to make a video on, but my Warhammer lore videos, it's not that they're not doing too well, it's just that they were significantly... The one I made was a lot harder for me to make, and it was actually supposed to be like 10 times as long. Really? I realized the mistake I had made with like no guarantee that someone would sit through that. But on YouTube, definitely you have people who are like, oh, an hour-long video? That sounds great. Like, I should just record myself yammering for an hour and then post that. I'd probably get a ton of hits. Ton of hits, as the kids say. That'd be quite quirky. Let's have a little drink. One thing that actually bothers me about this game, and someone pointed out on the Stoneshard subreddit. I'm not the biggest Reddit person, but some games like this, it's just better to go there. It's a pretty central community. But you cannot choose what gets cooked, like when you hit a fire pit. And sometimes it can control you really bad. Is he selling something? He's selling spirits. Thank you, order. Should put some bones in his bed. Okay, I learned about a new camp. What can I throw in his bed? Make him happy. Over. It's a nice little steak for you. This guy gives you a free weapon when you start the game. This is kind of mercenary who doesn't bring their own weapon. This guy sells rotten pine, or roasted pine caps. What a steal. Alright. That's about it. I mean, I might go around and look for some rumors, because it's tradition. Hello. Hello there. Nothing. Make sure you get your bear traps and stuff repaired at the blacksmith. That is my ultimate Stoneshard pro tip. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Apple a day. Not a pear a day. That's where we draw the line. Oh no, pears get immunity. Alright, so I believe silver plate goes to him. The jade figurine might actually go to this guy. Let's see here. Yeah. Now we can buy some pears. This guy has athletics too. Too bad we bought it at the other place, I guess. Immunity's going up. Gotta level up that immunity. Immunity training. Sell this brandy to this guy. I usually don't drink the high tier alcohol in this game, but it can be kind of handy in a pinch. Pain relief. It's just the fact, like, I don't know. I just can't. It'd be kind of fun to try and fight while on brandy, but. Alright, well, I think that's gonna do it for me. We can go talk to our little friend down here, Baron. Oh wow, we have all sorts of dialogue options. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired, but I appreciate you sticking around for the second inaugural Stoneshard livestream. Extremely scuffed. It's good practice though. Yeah, so I might be doing it on Fridays from now on, but I don't believe I'll be doing it this Friday. I mean, I guess it depends on my mood. It also doesn't have to be Stoneshard, but just because it's such an informal thing without a schedule and I can't make community posts, it's kind of hard to gauge what I should and shouldn't do. Well, not should and shouldn't, but you know, what would be best. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will catch you next time. This is me sleeping IRL. I'm gonna sleep for 10 hours. That's not how this works at all. I'm gonna sleep for 10 hours.
Goodbye, everybody.